शारदे पाहि मां शङ्कर रक्ष मां 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 शारदे पाहि मां शङ्कर रक्ष माम्
Hari Om. Namaste. We'll go and get started. Om Shri Ganeshaya Namaha. Sharda Sharadambuja Vadana Vadanambuje Sarvata Sarvata Asmakam Sannidhi Sannidhim Kriyat Sadashiva Samarambam Shankaracharya Madhyamam Asmadacharya Paryantam Vande Guru Paramparam. Om Bharati Karunapatram Bharati Padabhushanam Bharati Padamarudam Bharati Tirthamashre Vidya Vinaya Sampannam Vetaraham Vivehanam Vande Vedanta Tattvajnam Vidushekara Bhartim. Om Sadguru Charnaravindhyabhyam Namaha. Hari Om. Shri Pranav, please go ahead and get started.
चत्वारि वाक् परिमिता पदानि तानि विदुर्ब्राह्मणाये मनीषिणः गुहात्रीणि निहितानेऽङ्गयन्ति तुरीयं वाचो मनुष्या वदन्ति श्रुतिस्मृतिपुराणानामालयं करुणालयं नमामि भगवत्पादशङ्करं लोकशङ्करम् मूकं करोति वाचालं पङ्गुं लङ्घयते गिरिं यत्कृपातमहं वन्दे सद्गुरुं चन्द्रशेखरम् अज्ञानाञ्जह्नवीतीर्थं विद्यातीर्थं विवेकिनां सर्वेषां सुखदं तीर्थं भारतीतीर्थमाश्रिये विद्यावनिगसम्पन्नं वीतरागं विवेकिनं वन्दे वेदान्ततत्त्वज्ञं विधुशेखरभारतीम् सर्वेभ्यो नमः. In the last class, we saw the three types of granthas that Adi Shankara has written. One of them being the Bhashya granthas, the second being the Prakarana granthas, and the third being the Stotra granthas. So we started off and finished the Stotra Grantha of Mahaganesha Pancharatna, and we started the Prakarana Grantha of Sadhana Panchaka. So in this class, we will be finishing the remaining 4 shlokas of the Sadhana Panchaka, and from the next class, we will be starting the Vishnu Sahasranama Bhashya, which will fall under the Bhashya category as well. So in the previous shloka, we saw Vedo Nityamadhiyatam Tatutitam Karma Swanushtiyatam Teneshasya Vidhiyatam Apachitih Kamye Matistyajyatam Papo Ghaif Paridhuyatam Bhavasuke Dosho Nusandhiyatam Atmecha Vyavasiyatam Nijagrahat Turnam Vinirgamyatam. So we saw the orders to follow the Niyamadhyayana of the Vedas, and in the Grihastha follow the karmas of that. We saw some basic introduction to Vedanta, like the Shamadhi Shatka Sampattis, and we saw that these are in a set of commands. So in total, we have 5 shlokas in the Shardula Vikri Chandas, and each pada has 2 commands. So the command is then 8 commands per shloka. So as a total of 40 commands in total. So these are the 40 Upadeshas. So that is why it is also called as Upadesha Panchaka. And because it deals with Advaita, it is called Advaita Panchaka. And it is also known as Sadhana Panchaka because these are the sadhanas. In the second sloka, we see Sangasatsu Vidhiyatam Bhagavato Bhakti Dridadhiyatam Shantyadif Parichayatam Dridataram Karmashu Santyajyatam Sadvidvan Upasripyatam Pratititam Tatpaduka Sevyatam Brahmekaksharamarthyatam Shrutishiro Vakyam Samakarnyatam. So the first command is Sangasatsu Vidhiyata. Sangasatsu. So in it meaning a good sangha. In vidhiyatam, you should be in a good sangha, satsanga. In Bhaja Govinda, Shankaracharya says, satsangatve nissangatvam, nissangatve nirmohatvam, nirmohatve nischalitatvam, nischalitatve jivan muktihi. So in satsanga, you can find nissangatvam, the property of nissanga, meaning not non-attachment. In this nissanga, you can find nirmohatvam. Nirmohatvam being the absence of delusion. In that nirmohatvam, you can find nischalitatvam, which means the self-settledness. And in that, you can find jivan mukti. So it is also like a krama. From satsanga comes non-attachment. From non-attachment comes freedom from delusion. And from that freedom from delusion, it comes jivan mukti. So like that, the second sloka starts off with Sangha Satsu Vidhiyata. So seek companionship with men of wisdom. In Viveka Chudamani also we see Durlabham Trayamevetad Daivanugrahetukam Manushyatvam Mumukshutvam Mahapurusha Samshrayaha. So the three that are very difficult to find for a Manushya is, for a Jiva, is the first, the Manushyatvam, the Janma of a Manushya. Within that, the Mumukshutvam, the Ichha for Moksha, and the Mahapurusha Samshraya. So one that can lead to that moksha. So in our Siddhanta, the Guru cannot directly give moksha. Like in Vishishtadvaita, where if you do Sharanagati to a Guru, that Guru can himself give us moksha. But in the Advaita Siddhanta, what the Guru can do is he can teach us the Vakyarthas, and that will in set give us sadhanas. He can give the sadhanas and he can give the steps in order to get Jivan Mukti ourselves. But in terms of the Advaita standpoint, the moksha must only be got by the seeker, and it cannot be given by somebody, or it cannot be prescribed. So for that, these Upadeshas are there. So the first one is that Bhagavato Bhaktir Dridha Dhiyata. In the Lord, have firm bhakti. So we see that this will also lead to Chitta Shuddhi. Shantyadhif Parichayata. So this means the Shantyadi gunas, which we saw in the previous class, the Shamadhi Shakya Sampattihi, the Shanti, Damaha, Shamaha, all those gunas. We see Bhagavan, he says, Shamo Damastapashocham Kshantirajyavamevacha Jnanam Vijnanamastikhyam Brahmakarma Swabhavajam. So these are all the gunas that we saw previously also, and they are being again said here. Dhritaram karmashu santyajyata. Dhritaram meaning all the immediately, Dhritaram with great effort, completely, karmashu santyajyatam. Ashu meaning immediately, karma santyajyatam meaning give up all karmas. Sadvidvan upasripyatam pratidinam tatpaduka sevyatam. Sadvidvan upasripyatam is one partha, upasevyatam is also another partha. So Sadvidvan upasripyatam. So go and approach a guru and do seva to that guru. Sadvidvan upasripyatam. So in Gita also we see Tadvidhi pranipatena pariprashnena sevaya upadekshanti te jnanam jnaninaha tattvadarshinaha. So what does that mean? You first have to go and approach a guru, do namaskara, and do seva. And through that guru will lead you to jnana. In Prashnottara Ratnamalika, we see for the question, Ko Guruhu Shankara says, Adhikata Tattvaha Shishya Hitaya Udyatas Satatam. So a guru is someone that is a Adhikata Tattva, one who is a Tattva Jnani. Some people say Adhikata Tattvaha means one that has Adhika knowledge. That is not the meaning here. Adhikata Tattvaha means one who is a Tattva Jnani. And Shishya Hitaya Udyatas Satatam, one who is always striving for the well-being of the Shishya. That is the Lakshana of the Guru that Shankaracharya himself says in the Prashnottara Ratnamalika. So to that kind of Sat Guru, you have to do Upasripyatam. Upasripyatam, here it means approach. Upasevyatam can also mean approach and do seva in that Patabheda. Pratidinam, maybe Pratyaham, daily you have to do seva to the Guru. And just like the Prashnottara Ratnamalika, another example is in Upanishad, we see Sa Gurumeva Bhigachet Samit Pranish Shrotriyam Brahmanishtham. So who is this Guru? He is a Shrotriya. Shrotriya means Shruti Sampanna, one who has adhyana, one who has done adhyana of the Vedas, that we saw in the first sloka, that who is also a Brahmajnani, Brahmanishtha, because only one that is a Brahmajnani can teach others about Brahman. If he himself does not know, then he does not have the arhata to teach other people. So one that kind of Shrotriya, Brahmanishta should be approached, and his seva should be done. And tat paduka sevyada. So in our sampradaya, the paduka of the Guru is the same as the Guru himself. It's not that the Guru is different and the padukas are different. So that paduka that the Guru has, you should do seva to that. And the next is Brahmaikakshara Marthyata. This Ekakshara of Brahma, which is in the Akara, Ukara, Makara, the Pranava, the Omkara, that you have to take the understand completely, which is done through the Guru Seva and the Vidya, learning the Vidya. And Shruti Shiro Vakyam Samakaranyata. Shruti Shiro Vakyam, meaning the Upanishad Vakyams, Samakaranyata. They should be listened carefully. So this is the second shloka. So we see that the Shantyadif Parichayatam, in there the Shanti is given. So Shanti meaning is the controlling of the mind. And if the mind is not controlled, we see in Gita, Krishna himself says, Krodhat bhavati sammohaha, sammohat smritivibhramaha, smritibhramshat buddhinashaha, buddhinashat pranashyati. So if we have these raga dveshas and we don't get what we want, that will lead to krodha. If we don't get that kama, that will lead to krodha, and that will lead to sammoha, and then sammoha will lead to smritibhramaha, which is the destruction of the shraddha we have. Smritibhramaha means the Smritibhramshaha means the destruction of our shraddha. Shraddha is Gurushu Vedavakyeshu cha Atyanta Vishwasaha Shraddha. So Shraddha meaning the Atyanta Vishwasa, faithfulness to the Guru and the Vedavakyas. This is known as Shraddha. And from that, Buddhinasha. Buddhinasha means the destruction of the entire mind. So in order to avoid this, first the Shanti must be there. Because these Indriyas are the doorways to getting all these stimuli. And if we don't get what we want, then all that flow will come. So in order for that, to avoid that, the first Shanti must be Shantyadi, not just Shanti, Shanti, Damaha, Shamaha, Tapaha, all those should be strived to be achieved. So that is the second shloka. Sangasatsu vidhiyatam bhagavato bhaktirdridadhiyatam shantyadif parijiyatam dridhataram karmashu santyajyatam sadvidvanupasripyatam pratidinam tatpaduka sevyatam brahmaikaksharamarthyatam shutishiro vakyam samakarnyatam. The third shloka, he goes further in depth about the sadhanas. So it starts off with Vakyarthascha vicharyatam Shrutisharaf Pakshas Samashriyatam Dustarkat Saviramyatam Shrutimatas Tarko Nusandhiyatam Brahmasmiti Vibhavyatam Aharahar Garvaf Parityajyatam Deheham Atirujyatam Buddhajanairvadav Parityajyatam. So the first one is Vakyartha cha vicharyatam, meaning the Vakyarthas, the meaning of the scriptures, they should be contemplated. So the Vakyarthascha Vicharyata. And how is this done? This is done only through a guru. We see we have so many Shabdabodhas in Shastra. So, for example, we say Ganga Tire Ghoshaha. So, Ganga Tire Ghoshaha, Gangayam Ghoshaha. So, when you say Gangayam Ghoshaha, that means there is sound in the Ganga. But what does that mean? That does not mean that the village is in the Ganga itself. That means Ganga Tire Ghoshaha, meaning on the banks of the Ganga there is sound. Like that, how to interpret certain Vakyas. That is called Vakyartha, because they are not very straightforward. The meaning can be interpreted in so many ways. For example, what is the difference between Jiva and Brahma? The Jiva is Kinchiknyaha and the Brahma is Sarvajnyaha. And the Jiva is in Ekadesha, it's only in one place. But the Brahman is omnipresent. So how can both of them be different? Is what you have, what the Vakyarthas are looking for. So this must be done through a guru. So all these texts, for example, Mimamsa Shastra, we have so many Paraspara Viruddhas that we see. One we see is Atiratram Shodeshanam Grinhami. In the other one, in the other text, we see Natiratram Shodeshanam Grinhami. So we see two Vakyas that are conflicting with each other. So the purpose of the Shastras is to understand how the Vakya Artha should be uh, determined, and based on that, how the karma should be done. So for that, the Vakyarthas should be studied. Shruti Pakshas Samashriyata. And you have to, the Shruti Shiraha, meaning the Tattva given in the Upanishads and the Vedas, which the Upanishads are part of, this should be taken refuge of by the seeker. Samashriyata, meaning you have to accept and take refuge in those Vakyas. Dustarkat Suviramyatam, meaning you have to avoid Dustarka. Dustarka, the purpose of Tarka Shastra is not just to do Tarka. The purpose of Tarka Shastra is to understand the Vakyarthas completely in a Vedantic text. So, Dustarkat, meaning bad Tarka. So, Tarka that may sound good, like we see in the Charvaka Matha. In the Charvaka Matha, that comes from Charu. It means very sweet Vak, right? So, they're very sweet to hear, because they will say things like, oh, we have not seen this in Pratyaksha, how can you believe in this, and things like that. So they sound very good and they have very good logic as well, but those all fall under Dustarka. So all that should be completely avoided. Shruti mataha tarkaha anusandhiyatam. But you have to follow the tarka that is prescribed by the Shruti. Shruti matas tarkaha anusandhiyatam. So in the Upanishads, what the rationale is given, that should be completely followed. The next is Brahmasmi iti vibhavyatam. So that bhava of Brahmasmi should always be the attitude, and that should always be the bhavana, and we have to follow that and understand. And aharahar garvav parityajam. Every day and night, we have to leave the garva. Garva means ahankar, because we see ahankaram balam darpam kamam krodam parigraham vimuchya nirmama shantaha brahma bhuyaya kalpate, and all those things. So for that, this daily, this garva of ahankara, that I am the sharira, that garva should be left. Because what happens is, as we get knowledge, as we saw Bhartrihari said, yada kinchignoham gaja iva madandas samabhavan. So like that, once we get knowledge, the garva will come. But what should be done is how we see in Gita, Vidya Vinaya Sampanne Brahmane Gavihasti. So these Vidya Vinaya Sampannas, so the ones with Vidya and Vinaya and humbleness, meaning without garva, they are able to see everything as sama. Like that garva has to be left. The next one is Deheham Matirujjatam. That conception that I am the body, aham deha, that should be also left. In second chapter, we see so many shlokas that the Sharira is different and the Deha is different. So the first step, that is why in Gita, in the beginning itself of the teachings, Krishna says the differentiation between the Sharira and the Jiva. So for the Jiva, there is nothing that can destroy it. Achedyo yamadakyoyam akledyo shosyevacha nitya sarvagatasthānuhu achaloyam sanatanaha. And we see najayate mrigate va kadachit. The Atma doesn't have any birth or death, and it cannot be modified in any way. So the Sharira is different, the Atma is different. So once we leave the Bhava that I am the Sharira, then that attachment also goes away. And then the last one in this shloka is Buddhajaneir Vadav Parityajata. So you should not do Vada or debate with Buddhajanaha, with wise men. And that should be, again, Parityajata. That should be completely given. So the tendency is to say that I am the Sharira, I am the body, I am the mind. But what should be done is that Aham Brahmasmi iti bhavaha, that bhavaha, that I am Brahma, should be strived for by doing the vichara of the Vakyarthas under a guru. And what this will lead to was, this will lead to the absence of Sukha and Dukkha, because only the Sharira is going through Sukha and Dukkha, right? Whenever we see anything, the Atma is always the same. Nitya Sarvagatasthānuhu. So once this bhava goes, then whatever we do, it is not that I am doing. That's why we say nimitta matram bhava savyasachin. So the Sharira only becomes a nimitta or instrument for karma, and the doership of the karma also go. And obviously, to do this, the arahar garva parityajam, that garva should be given. And once we have that, that will lead us to the realization that I am not the body, which will then, after more sadhana, will lead to aham brahmasmi. So the shloka was Vakyarthascha vicharyatam Shrutisiraf pakshas samashriyatam Dvastarkat suviramyatam Shrutimatatarko nusandhiyatam Brahmasmiti vibhavyatam Aharahar garvah parityajyatam Teheham matirujyatam Bhudajanirvadav parityajyatam. The next sloka, Kshudyadhishcha chikitsyataam pratidinam bhikshaushadham bhujyatam swadvannam tutuyachyatam vidhivashat praptena santushyatam shitoshnadi vishahyatam natu vritha vakyam samucharyatam औदासीन्यमभीप्स्यतां जनकृपानुष्ठैर्विमुत्सृज्यताम्. Kshudyadhishcha chikitsatam. The first is, don't allow Kshudhya to impact the Sharira, because the Shariram Adyam Dharma Sadhanam is what Shastras say. So the Sharira is the first thing that is needed for Dharma Sadhanam. So all the Kshudhi, Pipasa, all those hunger, thirst, you have to quench. And how do you do that? Pratidhinam bhikshaushadham bhujyatam. So this is obviously not for grahasthas, this is for sannyas. For brahmachari also bhiksha charanam is there, but because we are getting towards the end, we know that this person is not a brahmachari, it should be mostly in the sannyas ashrama. So not just any bhiksha, he says bhikshaushadham. So that medicine of bhiksha, bhujyatam, enjoy. And enjoy means take in this sentence. Swadvannan natu yachyadam. Swadu annam. But when you're doing bhikshacharana, it should not be for any tasty food. Swadvannam. Swadu means good tasting. Natu yachyadam. Don't ask for that. Vidhivashat praptena santushyatam. And this can be taken in two ways. Vidhivashat prapte na santushyatam is one example. Vidhivashat prapte meaning Vidhivashat prapte sati na santushyatam. So whatever, even if you get, don't be happy is one artha with the Sati Saptami. Or if you take it as Tritiya, Vidivashat Praptena Santushyatam. Whatever you get, be happy with that. Santushyatam. Even if it may not be of any particular quality. Vidivashat Praptena Santushyatam. With that, be happy. Shitoshnadi Vishahyatam, meaning don't get constrained by the Shita and Ushna. So these opposites that we see, right? Shitoshna Sukha Dukkheshu Tatha Mana Pamanayoho. This Shita, Ushna, Sukha, Dukkha. It's saying for a sannyasi, these should be endured. Vishashakyatam. Natu vratha vakyam samucharyatam. And avoid wasteful talks. Natu vratha vakyam samucharyatam. Wasteful talks meaning any talk that is not necessary is called wasteful here. So we see in Kalidasa, he says for Dilipa, one of the qualities he has is Jnane Maunam Kshama Shakto. So Jnane Maunam, Jnane Sati Maunam. So even though he is knowledgeable, he is Maunam. That is one Lakshana of a Jnani. The Jnani, even though knowing everything, even when learning something new, he gets the Santosha of a child. That is the Lakshana of a Jnani that we may have seen in Acharyas. So even though they are already knowing everything, whenever they find out some new information, as if a child learning something new, that much Santosha they get. So like that, they don't need to say anything. So natu vritha vakyam samuccharyata. Vritha meaning waste. So these wasteful vakyas or words should not be uttered. Audasinyam abhipsyatam is the next one. Audasinyam. Udasina means madhyastha, meaning be indifferent to both of these, any condition. It's not that you have this raga, you have this dvesha. For both, you have to be a madhyastha, audasinyam, abhipsyatam. And janakripa anushtahi yamutsrijyatam. Don't be a patra of the pity of others. So we see satkaramana pujartham tapodambhena chayavayat kriyate tadiha proktam rajasam chalamadhruvam. So people who do puja for some kind of satkarta, that is called of rajasic nature. So some people, they want to do upavasa and things. So other people say, oh, this person is doing this much anushtana, he is doing this much to the sharira, and he is leaving all this and doing that. So like that, we should not be doing anything for the sympathy or pity of others. So janakripa anushtaihi yamutsrijjata. So don't do anything for the pity of others or sympathy of others. That can be taken as the artha. So this shloka was Kshudyadhischa chikitsyataam pratidinam bhikshaushadham bhujyatam swadvannan natu yachyataam vidhivashat prapte na santushyatam shitoshnadi vishahyatam natu vratha vakyam samucharyatam audasinyamabhipsyatam janakripanushtiryamutsrijyatam. The last shloka goes as Ekante sukhamasyatam paratare chetas samadhiyatam purnatma susamikshyatam jagaditam tadbadhitam drisyatam prakarma prapilapyatam chitibalat napyuttare shisyatam prarabdhantu hyabhujyatam atha parabrahmatmana sthiyatam. The first one is Ekante sukhamasyatam. So be content, be happy in ekanta. So lot of people, they want to do big karikramas in a group, which is good. But for tapas, it should only be done as individual. That is why in Shastras we see ekas tapo dviradhyayi. So for tapas, there should be only one person. For adhyayana, there should be minimum two people. like that. So when we're doing tapas, they should not take multiple of people and bring them together and say, let us do tapas together. That is not the format. So for that, there should be ekaki. So in this ekanta, be happy, sukhamasyatam, paratare chetas samadhiyatam, and keep the mind in Ishvara, paratare, purnatma susamikshyatam. This purnatma is meaning after you what is atmajnana, what is brahman, is which, after knowing which, there is nothing else to learn after. That is, so if you learn any veda or anything, you only know that veda, but those are all called aparavidya. But for the paravidya, it's whatever, by knowing that one thing, you know everything else. That is called brahmavidya or paravidya. So with that, what do we get? We get this purnatva. Because if we learn anything else, we still have this sukha, dukkha, kshuddha, pipasa, all those will still be affecting us. But once you get atmajnana, you get that purnatvam. After that, there is nothing else. That is why in Brihadaranyaka we say purnamadav purnamidam purnat purnamudachyate purnasya purnamadaya purnameva vashishyate. So this purnatma, this should be susamikshata. So you see everything in that. Jagadidam tadbadhitam drishyata. And see everything as the swarupa of the Atma itself. That's why we saw in the previous example, Vidya Viniga Sampanne Brahmane Gavihastini Shunujaiva Shvapakecha Pandita Samadarshinaha. So whether it be Brahmana, cow, elephant, in everything, they see that same thing. So Jagadidam tad badhitam drishyatam. This badha means nivritti. Nivritti of what? This samsara, this dukkha. So when in a dark path, when we are going, we see a rope, but we think that rope is a snake. This is very commonly used in Vedanta, the Rajju and Sarpa. So the Rajju being the rope, we see the Rajju in the dark and we think it is a snake. Why do we think it is a snake? It is because of the darkness of Ajnana. Because we don't have light, we see something in the dark, in the path, and we see and we think it's a snake. But once the jnana, the light comes, we realize that there was never a snake in the first place, it is just a rope. So that does not mean that the snake disappears. The snake was never there to begin with, but through Maya, we think that that Vastu is a snake. Like that, once we have this Purnatvam, Jagadidam Tatbadidam Drishyata. That's why we say Sarvam Khalu Idam Brahma, Sarvam Khalvidam Brahma. So everything is within that Brahma. So that badhanam, that badhitam, that nivritti, that bhava of that rajju of the sarpa is nivritti. Prakarma pravilapyatam. So prakarma pravilapyatam means the whatever you have done in the past, you have to negate that karma or karma phala. So how is this done? Because we don't have that kartritva anymore. So that is the difference between karmi and karma yoga. So if you're doing it as a karma yoga, then that prakarma, that should all be left. Prakarma means before getting this atmajnana, all that karma we have done is called prakarma. And the next one is chiti, that is how through chiti balat. And then the next one is chiti balat api uttaresh lishyata. Uttaraihi means after we get Atmajnana, all those karma. So prakarma is the karma before Atmajnana, and Uttara karma, Uttaraihi meaning Uttara karma bhi. All those karmas should also be exhausted. Exhausted meaning we are detached from those Agami karmas. Agami karma meaning future karmas. Uttara karma bhi. Srishyata. Srishyata means be detached from. Prarabdham tu iha bujjatam. So prarabdha karma cannot be exhausted, cannot be deleted. So even for jnanis, we see that lots of jnanis, they may have to go through some prarabdha karma still, even after Atmajnana. So they may have some physical illness and everything, but that is all to the sharira of that jnani itself. But that is not only to them. We may think, why is this jnani going through so much physical trouble? Because that is all prarabdha karma. So we see in Gita, Jnanagni sarvakarmani bhasmasat kurute Arjuna. So by the Jnanagni, all the karma is destroyed. This prakarma and uttarakarma. But this prarabdha karma, that still needs to be experienced by the shishya, by the sharira. That's why prarabdham tu iha bhujyatam. It must be enjoyed. Uh, it must be experienced here. So once the prarabdha karma is done, then the janma is over. We cannot leave before even with a little prarabdham left. And if there is no prarabdham remaining, we cannot continue any longer. So if prarabdha is done, then the janma is over. So for that, you have to experience them, but without any attachment. And atha para brahmatmana sthiyata. In Brahma Sutra, for the first sutra itself, Athato Brahma Jignasa, the meaning of Atha Shabda, meaning is after Chitta Shuddhi, after the Samadhi Shatka Sampattihi, after the sadhana Chatushtaya, that is the Atha Shabda. So the last step after these 39 instructions, the 40th instruction is Atha Parabrahmatmana Sthiyata. So Sthiyata means stay, be in the bhavana of Parabrahma, that which is given by the Mahavakyas, Tattvamasi, Aham Brahmasmi, Prajnanam Brahma, all these Mahavakyas, that state, stay in that state. Atha Parabrahmatmana Sthiyata. So the shloka was Ekante Sukhamasyatam Paratare Chetas Samadhiyatam Purnatma Susamikshatam Jagadidam Tadbadhitam Drishyatam Prakarma Pravilapyatam Chitibalat नाप्युत्तरैश्लिष्यतां प्रारब्धं तु ह्य भुज्यताम् अथ परब्रह्मात्मना स्थीयताम्. So we can conclude by the recitation of all 5 shlokas, and we can open up to questions. Vedo nityamadhiyataं taduditam karma svanushthiyataं teneshasya vidhiyatam apachitih kame matistyajyatam पापोघैः परिधूयतां भवसुखे दोषोऽनुसन्धीयताम् आत्मेच्छाव्यवसीयतां निजगृहात् तूर्णं विनिर्गम्यताम् सङ्गस्सत्सु विधीयतां भगवतो भक्तिर्दृढधीयतां शान्त्यादिः परिचीयतां दृढतरं कर्माशु सन्त्यज्यतां सद्विद्वानुपसृप्यतां प्रतिदिनं तत्पादुकासेव्यतां ब्रह्मैकाक्षरमर्थ्यतां श्रुतिशिरो वाक्यं समाकर्ण्यताम् वाक्यार्थश्च विचार्यतां शितिशिरः पक्षः समाश्रयतां दुस्तर्कात् सुविरम्यतां श्रुतिमतस्तर्कोऽनुसन्धीयतां ब्रह्मास्मीति विभाव्यताम् अहरहर्गर्वः परित्यज्यतां देहेऽहम् अतिरुध्यतां बुधजनैर्वादः परित्यज्यताम् क्षुब्ध्यादिश्च चिकित्स्यतां प्रतिदिनं भिक्षौ च धं भुज्यतां स्वाद्वन्नं न तु याच्यतां विधिवशात् प्राप्तेन सन्तुष्यतां शीतोष्णादिविषह्यतां न तु वृथा वाक्यं समुच्चार्यताम् औदासीन्यमभीप्स्यतां जनकृपानुष्ठैर्यमुत्सृज्यताम् एकान्ते सुखमास्यतां परतरे चेतः समाधीयतां पूर्णात्मा सुसमीक्षतां जगदिदं तद्बाधितं दृश्यतां प्राक्कर्म प्रविलाप्यतां चितिबलानाप्युत्तरैश्लिष्यतां प्रारब्धं तु ह्य भुज्यताम् अथ परब्रह्मात्मना स्थीयताम्. तत्सद्ब्रह्मार्पणमस्तु.
Thank you so much. This is so nice. Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. We finished that today. I think we are 4:40 right now. Thank you, Pranav. I think as you said, next class we'll start with Vishnu Sasana, which will be a much longer kind of a model on that. We'll
Yeah.
finish all the very, very nicely, succinctly to the point done. Very enjoyed it. Thank you so much for that. And I think we are going to go on deeper on this when there is a Veda Sammelan coming right now on December. We'll talk about that more as well on this. Well, thank you so much. Questions, we are going to continue with more questions after this, if there are anything. We just wanted to finish off with running through that. Ram, do you want to say anything on this? Ram is here too, Krishna Swami. So, you want to add any few words, or Kumar Swamiji, if you want to say anything, feel free. Then we are going to finish off with that Mangalam song, and then we'll open it up for questions.
Sure.
If it is not, go ahead. Srini, go ahead with the. Srini, if you're there, go ahead, finish it off with the.
Sorry, just 1 second. I'm having issues with sharing the slide. Just a second, please.
No problem. See, while he's finishing, the Sadhana Panchangam is such a powerful 40 commandments, you can say, for us. And it is so powerful and it's so relevant even today. What you listen to, what you don't, what you need to do, tarka, what you don't have to. Focus on the main pieces. Such a very succinct approach. Very powerful. Thank you. All right. I'm going to, let me make it. Hold on 1 minute, Shini. Just 1 minute, Shini. Go ahead, Ram.
Yes, I was not allowed to unmute. Thank you, Soma. Thank you, Srini. First of all, thank you, Pranav. And sorry I was not able to attend last class. I had a last-minute engagement. I wanted to be present there too. It is indeed our pleasure to have you, and you're a prodigy as well as a product of SVBF, and we truly thank you for making the time, coming and sharing the ocean of knowledge that you have with the rest of us. It's very nicely done. We are looking forward for other classes too, and obviously it's very interesting. And I would also like to have, if you can circulate a good version of what you just presented, the Sanskrit version, Devanagari, or any other language. With the rest of the team, the admins will be able to circulate that
Sure.
as well. So that will also be very good. And our Acharya Sannidhanam has requested many Vidwans to do pracharam throughout, especially Shankara's teachings, the Advaita philosophy, all over the world. One such event is going to happen in Detroit the weekend of December 14th and 15th. You can see flyers. The Vedanta Shravana is going to happen at the center. His main aim is to teach this philosophy for those who are fairly new to it through the Puranas, especially the Bhagavatams and other Puranas, which help explain the stories, help explain the philosophy much better. And that has been his approach, and that has been his instructions to all the Vidwans. So I am waiting to start hear from you about the Vishnu Sahasranamam that you're also going to start. I'm sure that there will be a lot of examples and parallels that you will be able to draw to help us understand what actually the Bhagwan's message is. And I'm truly looking forward to that. Thank you all, and wishing you the very best. Thank you again.
Thank you.
Kumar Swami, do you have any final words you want to say? And then we'll have question and answer session.
Namaste. I had one question about the word paratara. Paratare Ishvara. You said it's Ishvara. Can you explain the word a little bit more?
Like Bhagavattara, we say, right? Like the para meaning like that para vidya, right? So it's the tara pratyaya, like para paratama paratara, like uttara, like uttama purushastvanyaha paramatyetida hrudha, we see. So the uttama, that same thing, Uttara, like that same pratyaya. Through that we say Paratara. Para meaning that is Parabrahma, right? So by that we are saying
Yes.
Isha.
Thank you.
Mm.
Thank you. I think let's finish it and we'll continue with more questions.
Sure.
Go ahead, Srini, take it away.
मङ्गलं गुरुश्री चन्द्रमौळीश्वर के शक्ति गणपति शारदाम्बिके शंकराचार्यर के शक्ति गणपति महागणपति शारदाम्बिके के काल भैरवर के काली दुर्गै के वीर धीर शूर हनुम मारुति चरणतिके मल्लिकार्जुनर के செல்வ ஜனார்தனர் கே அம்பா பவானி கம்பத கணபதி சண்டி சாமுண்டி கே ஸ்ரீ கிருஷ்ண பகவான் கே ஸ்ரீ சக்கரவாசினி கே சீதாராம லக்ஷ்மண சகித மாருதி சரணத்திற்கே வித்யாரண்யர் கே विद्याशंकर के वागीश्वरी के वज्रदेग गरुड़ आंजनेयर के श्रीवल्ली देव सेना समेत सुब्रमण्यर के तुंगभद्रै के श्रृंगनिवासिनी के श्रृंगेरी पुरिயில் நிலைத்திருக்கும் எங்கள் சாரதாம்பிகைக்கே सच्चिदानंद शिव अभिनव नृसिंह भारती के श्री चंद्रशेखर भारती गुरु सार्वभौमर के श्री चंद्रशेखर भारती गुरु विद्यातीर्थर के श्री चंद्रशेखर भारती गुरु भारती तीर्थर के श्री चंद्रशेखर भारती गुरु विदुशेखर भारती के मंगलम गुरु श्री चंद्रमौळीश्वर के शक्ति गणपति शारदाम्बिक शंकराचार्यर के शक्ति गणपति महागणपति शारदाम्बिகை के श्रृंगेरी पुरिயில் நிறைந்திருக்கும் எங்கள் சாரதா